Well, now it's time to continue with our project. So we created a project, a Java project, and we pushed it into GitHub. Now let's implement a new feature into this. So let's go back to IntelliJ. Now we are in the main branch here. IntelliJ displays the current branch that we are working in. Okay, so it's with the main branch. And for implementing a new feature, I don't want to mess up with the main branch because that's a very stable branch. So I will be creating a new branch, a feature branch for the new feature, and I'll work on there. And then once everything is tested and working fine, then I'll merge into the main branch. So let's do how to do that. First of all, let's create a new branch. So the feature that I'm gonna work or I'm gonna add here in this project is I'm gonna add a new program to find the largest number from a set of numbers. So let's create a feature branch now. So from the main branch, just click here and then select new branch. Okay, this is how you add a new branch in IntelliJ. All right, and you have to give a name for the new branch. So you have to give a meaningful name so that will help you to identify the right branch, maybe in a later time, right? So let's give a meaningful name, largest number. Okay, and here there is an option, a checkbox, checkout branch. Okay, so this is to check out into this branch. So if this is checked, you will create a branch and you'll be checking out to the new branch that you create. So by default is selected. Let us leave it selected so that you will be checking out to the branch and you will be able to work inside that. Okay, so let's click create button. All right, so now if you take a look at here at the top, you can see that it has created a new branch and we checked into the branch, new branch, the feature branch, largest number. So we are in this branch now. Okay, and here IntelliJ shows you like checked out new branch, largest number. All right. Okay, so now let's work on the new feature. So let's add a new file here. Under Java, I'm going to add a new file. Select new Java class. Let's give a name, largest number. Okay, click enter, and then it's showing you, whether you want to add the new file to Git. So remember, if Git has to monitor the new file, it has to be in the staging area. You have to add it to the staging area, right? So you have to click add. Suppose you forgot to add it at this point accidentally. If you click cancel, what do you do now? So now you can see that the new file created, but that is in your workspace or working directory only. See, it's in a new color, it's in a different color, right? So this means this is not under Git supervision. Okay, so if you clicked cancel, you can add it later as well. How do you add it? You just right click it and then Git and then select add, so that is added to Git. Now you can see that it's shown in green, so it's added to Git now. Okay, now so when you add it to Git means it will go to the staging area or index. Index is another name for the staging area. All right, well, so let's work on this now. All right, now that I have finished my code, but I'm not sure whether this is working, right? So I have to test it. So we did the coding in a feature branch and now we are gonna test it and ensure that everything is working fine. So let's run it and check it out. So in this it's printing 97. Let us check it out. So that is the largest, that's true. Now let's make some change. Maybe I'm gonna make replace 34 with 340 and let us check it again. We'll run it again. See, okay, now it's working. So after considerable amount of testing, once you are satisfied, then we are good with this. Okay, so now we have done our work. Suppose we tested everything and everything is working fine. So the next thing is committing, right? So everything, whatever that we have done, it's in the staging area now, right? Because we've worked in the work area and we added everything, all the files into staging area. So the changes are there in the staging area. Now we have to commit it to the local repo. So let's do the commit. Let's go to the menu, Git, and then commit. Okay, and then let's give a commit message. So we can say um, finding largest number implemented. All right, so that code is implemented. You write some meaningful message, and then you can commit it. Okay, so I'm gonna commit it. So that file is committed. Okay, now we have to push it. Okay, so let's take git push, and you can see the details here, and I'm gonna push it. So when you push it, it will go to remote repository, from local repository to remote repository. So it is just pushed. Now let's go to GitHub and let's check it over there. Okay, let me click on this Java study, and then you can see that the details here. Okay, so it's also showing that the largest number had recent pushes 17 seconds ago, right? So it has identified that something is already pushed into here. And here also you can see that two branches. All right, both the main branch and the other one. Okay, if you click there, it will be showing different branches. So default, we have a main branch, and now additional branch largest number is also showing here. Okay, let's go back to here. Now the next thing is, like, since we have completed our work in the feature branch, we have to merge it with the main branch. So for merging it with the main branch, what you should do is you have to create a pull request. So what it means is, like, so you're telling the team, like, hey, I have completed my work, so you guys can pull it. Okay, so that's what. So that's called pull request. So you're gonna give a pull request and then merge it to main branch, and then you'll be working with another feature, right? Okay, so let's do how to do that. So there is a button here, compare and pull request. You can click this one and proceed, or otherwise, you can go through this option, pull request, and from there you can create a pull request. Okay, either way is fine. Okay, so let's click here, compare and pull request, and here it is showing the details. So to word, the merge has to happen. That is what is shown here. So here you can see an arrow, right? So this arrow is pointing to the left side. So from largest number to main. Okay, so you can see both the branches here, the feature branch largest number and the main branch here, right? So, and there is an arrow. So that means we are creating a pull request to merge from the largest number to main. All right, and it is showing a tick mark here and showing like able to merge. So there is no issues and you are able to merge it. Okay, so sometimes there could be some conflicts and you may not be able to merge it. Okay, so for example, if two people are working on the same file, and in such scenarios there could be some conflicting scenarios, and you will have to fix it. Okay, so now let us do the simple thing first. Everything is fine now, and you can create a pull request. So for creating a pull request, there is a button here, create pull request. But usually what happens in the work environment is, like, so you need to add some reviewers in this. Okay, so there will be a rule, like, so at least some reviews and approval should happen. Then only you will be able to merge it into the main branch, because that is to ensure that somebody is reviewing your code and ensuring that everything is fine, right? So in that case, you will be adding some reviewers. So all the reviewers will get an email. Okay, so they will be approving it, and after their approval, then only you will be able to merge it. Okay, so for the time being, we are not adding any reviewers. I'm gonna click create pull request. So it's going to create a pull request. So now you can see that the pull request is created. Okay, so now ideally what happens is, like, after adding the reviewers, you create a pull request, and then if you come and check it here, this button will not be enabled. Okay, so it will be grayed out. So currently it is enabled because you don't have any rule set for this, right? So there are no reviewers as well. But now actually what happens is, like, this will be disabled, according to the rule. So say for example, the rule could be something like at least one person has to approve this, your change in your project team. If that is the rule set, then until you get an approval from somebody else will go and review it, and until they approve, you won't be able to merge it. Okay. So after the review is done and the approval is done by somebody, okay, review can be done by anyone. Okay, so I mean, it again depends on whatever rule is set by the Git administrator of your project. So in our case, it is enabled right now because we don't have any rule set. So merge pull request is enabled. So let us click here so that it will be merged. Okay, so I'm gonna click merge pull request, and it's showing another button, confirm merge. Now you have to confirm it, and then whatever changes in the feature branch, that will be added to the main branch. Okay, so the feature branch is now merged into the main branch. Okay, now you don't need the feature branch anymore because you already merged whatever in your feature branch into the main branch. Okay, so there is no point in keeping the feature branch anymore in Git because it consumes memory, right? It consumes space. So there is an option showing here, an option is shown here, delete branch. So this is to delete the feature branch largest number. So we can delete this because we already merged all the changes into the main branch. Okay, so we are good to go. So we have all the changes in the main branch. Okay, now this feature is done. Now how do we continue with the next feature? Okay, so we have completed one work. Now we have to switch into another work. So how do we continue with another work? Let's go back to IntelliJ. All right, now in order to continue with another batch, we will repeat the same process. That means you have to create a new feature branch, right? So where is our latest and greatest code available? It is always in main. So main is the stable branch, and we always have the latest code, latest stable code available in the main branch. So now we have created a feature branch, completed our work, we merged it into the main branch. So likewise, other team members also will be working, right? So they will be creating their own feature branches, they will be completing their work, and they will also merge into the main branch. So you have to always rely on the main branch. Okay, it's not only your change, other changes or others changes are also merged into main branch. Okay, so you have to take the main branch now before starting a new work. Always remember, you have to select the main branch. Okay, so let us select the main branch from here locally. So this is the local main branch. Okay, so I'm gonna check out into from the local, I'm gonna check out into main branch. So here in this menu you can select local and then main. Okay, and check out. So we are checking out to main branch locally. Okay, but remember, this main branch is from your local repository. Okay, but there is a latest main branch available in GitHub because you have merged certain things into the main branch. Okay, you added some new feature and you committed and pushed. Okay, right? So that new features, that is finding the largest number, okay, that code is available in the main branch in GitHub, but it's not available in your local copy. Why? Because we implemented that in another branch. It was not implemented in the main branch, right? That was implemented in the feature branch, largest number, right? So we don't have that file available here. Okay, so likewise, others also might have merged their features into the main branch. So you have to take the latest main branch for before starting a new work. So always remember that. Okay, otherwise, you will be with an old version of code, and that could create issues like a lot of conflicts. So in order to reduce the conflicts, you have to always take the latest version of the main branch before starting your new work. All right, so let us take the latest version. Let's update our project. So we can do an update project. So what it does is like it will pull the changes from the GitHub and update your project. So you will get the latest work. Okay, so I'm going to update it. All right, so it's asking, see, merge incoming changes into the current branch. So what it does, it will update the main branch here. So it's going to merge whatever from the GitHub into this. Okay, so let's click OK. So now you can see that the file updated in 2 commits. Okay, so we got the new feature, largest number. Okay, if somebody else added some other features, then we would get that as well here. All right, so now we are good with the main branch. It is updated. Now we can work with a new feature.